For the least motivating job project, our group decided that being a doorman would be the least motivating. In the presentation, Jacqueline discusses the biological component, Cassandra discusses the learned component, Anna discusses the cognitive component, and Saqib discusses the Pritchard Ashwood model.
Hi, my name is Jacqueline Napoli, and I will be presenting the biological component for the least motivating job.
Hi everyone, my name is Cassandra. I am a senior here at USF, majoring in psychology with a minor in education. I'm introducing my topic as the learned component of this project.
Hi, my name is Anna Markowitz. I'm a student at the University of South Florida. I am studying business, pre-management, and I am a sophomore. Today, I'm going to be discussing the cognitive component in a least motivating job. And I'll be discussing cognition and how it relates specifically to a career.
Hello, I'm Saqib Kazi, and I'll be presenting the Pritchard Ashwood model for our project.
One of the basic principles of psychology is that we are motivated to perform actions that produce positive feelings. The dopaminergic pathway and the limbic system are two examples of how our brains work to do this. The dopaminergic pathway is a system in the brain that produces positive feelings and euphoria. Activation of this pathway has been proven to be reinforcing. The limbic system is another system that produces feelings of pleasure. It regulates basic emotions and drives. For instance, a newly hired doorman starts his career with enthusiasm, greeting every guest with a smile and a hello or welcome. A few years go by and the doorman still works for the same company. People are so used to having him open the door for them that they forget to respond to his warm greetings. The doorman is no longer being reinforced for doing his good job. There's no more positive feelings coming his way from the people he's opening the door for, which makes him less motivated to do a good job. His once energetic hello turns into a forced smile and a slight nod. Doormen nowadays are typically seen outside luxurious hotels and residential buildings in highly populated areas. The unionized doorman in New York City makes roughly $40,000 a year. This isn't horrible, but it sure doesn't sound good when you consider how much it can take a toll on your emotions. One minute the doorman could be opening the door for the Smith family, making small talk with the kids about their day's activities, causing his limbic system to light up. Then the Scrooge comes home from his 2-week business trip, and it looks like he brought the cold back with him, so he's even ruder than before. Having to deal with rude and mean people on a daily basis does not sound like a motivating job to have, especially with that type of pay you're receiving. We also have two activation systems, the negative activation and the positive activation. With the negative activation, its function is to keep us out of trouble. So this would activate when the doorman is dealing with the Scrooge to make him hold his tongue and be polite even when he doesn't want to. The positive activation's function is to direct individuals to situations that can offer pleasure and reward. This can also be seen with the example of the Smiths family. While many people come in and out of those doors, the doorman is drawn to the Smith family because it brings pleasure to the doorman to interact with this family.
According to bestjobdescriptions.com, a doorman serves as an unarmed security personnel that secure and assist people in different settings, like residential area, establishments, hotel, or any retail business-like company. A doorman usually holds jobs in the rich sector, a popular hotel, or a rich house of a senator. Having low self-esteem can lower the motivation of holding the door. A doorman might think that he can never amount to being the people that he is holding the door for. He also might think that he only has the capacity to hold the door and not to go to school and become a lawyer, doctor, or a senator. A doorman learns that his job is least motivating because the position he is put in, holding the door for rich or middle class people, might create thoughts of failure and unimportance, Emotions that produce negativity promotes low motivation for the job. According to the incentive theory of motivation, people do things because they get rewarded extrinsically for their task. Being a doorman doesn't get a lot, and their reward is the expected low paycheck that they get bi-weekly. It might not even be enough to cover the bills, and the person might have to get a second job. This exemplifies that this job is the least motivating job out there because of lack of extrinsic rewards.
The basics of cognitive psychology include habit forming evolving from a basic need or a want. This is stemming from the beginning of time when humans' most basic needs for eating, reproducing, just evolving in general, can all be traced back to a need or a want, and based on that, a habit is formed as a way to achieve that goal. So that process is known as cognition. Cognition can be described as a bridge between a need and an action, and the way that humans can connect achieving a goal or achieving a basic need or an advanced need. So in this example, as far as achieving a goal, a person who is a doorman or working a similar job is most likely not trying to achieve a basic need or a want to be a doorman, but rather the need for financial gain or financial stability, because money pays for all the basic needs and wants of human beings. When one is working a career such as a doorman at a hotel, for example, it might be difficult to be creative and become creative in that environment where you are not the boss, most likely, and your interactions with people may be limited to small talk at the front of the establishment, and there just might not be that outlet for creativity. And in this sense, low happiness is associated with low creativity, because if one is not able to express themselves, it just is easier to fall into depression and not feel that personal meaning, that is, that personal drive and the basic goal achieving that drives humans. When one person does not feel necessarily that they have achieved all that they wanted to career-wise, this can lead to them feeling badly of themselves, of having low self-esteem, and because of that low creativity and that lack of an outlet and that financial stress and maybe other forms of stress because of that financial stress, and so then that low self-esteem and that low success rate just correlate with each other in a positive correlation, essentially.
The Pritchard-Ashwood model is a model that is used to describe an individual's motivation. It consists of 5 steps: action, results, evaluation, outcome, and need satisfaction. According to this model, the job being a doorman would be a low motivating job. The first step is action, which is the process of doing something. An individual performs an action in order to attain satisfaction. If the need satisfaction is met, then the action is done again and the cycle repeats. The action for a doorman would be to open and hold the door for others to walk through into whichever building they work at. Since this does not take much effort, the lack of a challenge will lead to a negative result. The second step is the results, which are product of the actions taken in order to achieve the need satisfaction goal. It will determine whether or not there was effort placed into the action. Since there is minimal effort required to hold the door open for others, there is no result of showing care for this action. This lack of care would lead to a negative evaluation. The third step is evaluation, which is to determine whether or not the results from the action are sufficient enough to satisfy the need satisfaction. The doorman may evaluate his job as being one that is insignificant due to both the lack of effort needed and the impact it has in a societal view. This negative evaluation will lead to the determination of an outcome. The fourth step is outcome, where it is determined whether the evaluation of the results via the actions are sufficient enough to want to continue. For a doorman, the combination of lacking a sense of reward along with minimum pay would lead to an outcome that is negatively motivating. This outcome would indicate the insignificance and lack of motivation for the job. The fifth step is needs satisfaction, in which the cycle is completed and the needs have been satisfied. Reaching this step results in the repeat of the cycle because it has led to positive motivation for continuing the action. For a doorman, this step would not be reached because the motivation for the action is negative, and so they would not want to continue with the job.